guys, another command block tutorial. Today we're going to be doing the slash clone command. It's pretty basic. In the slash clone command you can copy and paste things basically. There is an easier way to copy and paste if anyone wants to know that, which I'm going to go through later on in the video and maybe in a different video. But yeah, so the first basic command for the slash clone, or just a showing of what I can do, is it can basically duplicate this chest and move it where I want it to. But it does clone what's inside it, so I put a bunch of random shit and boom, it's also inside. So yeah, the slash clone command, it can work wherever. It'll always clone, so if you're gonna use a chest, it'll clone everything inside the chest. But rotating the chest is a bit more difficult, so let's ignore that for now. And let's get into the command. So over here it looks like a bunch of numbers, and yes it is. There's actually 3 commands here, so let me split it up real quick. There's the last set, there's the second one, and there's the first. So make sure when you do the commands you don't put in these brackets, but as you can see there's 3 different coordinates here, the first, second and third. Alright, now let's go into a little more of what these coordinates do. So the first set of coordinates I've written is the first corner that I'm copying. So it'll start copying from this block to that block there. Let's say that. So the first set of coordinates would be -7, 4, 32. Then the second set of coordinates in the second bracket, as you can see at the bottom, it's over there it's 3, 4, 29, but here it's -11, 4, 28. Then the third set of commands is where I'm going to put it. So if I'm copying that and I want to move it here, I'd put the last set of coordinates as 0, 4, 23. So that might be a little bit complicated, so let's break it down into another command. So I'm gonna quickly just build something over here. So don't ask what this is, but let's say I want this structure to be duplicated into the second area. So if I want this to come over to here or around here, I'm going to need to get this coordinate first. So it'd be 7 -7, 4, 32. So into this command block I'd put in slash clone -7, 4 and 32, was it? I don't actually remember. Yeah, -7, 4, 32. So this is the first coordinates. Then the second coordinates. Alright, so a real quick clear up here is you don't want to be on the same Y, because then this will only copy this level of blocks. So for the second set of coordinates you actually want to move it up. For safe, if you want to be safe, I like to go one more block higher, like this, so then it really does get everything inside here. And so the second set of coordinates would be -11, 8, 28. So you put that in to your command. So -8, I've already forgotten it, I need to go back. -11, 8, 28. There we go. -11, 8 and 28. So there you go. This set of commands has already copied up this. This area is now, this structure is now into the blocks. So when you are copying, make sure this block, your first set of commands is, and your second one is going around the whole structure and over it. That's the only way you'll get the whole building, otherwise it might get cut off. So if I did get this first of command over here, it'd just be very risky. This part might not get in, or this, and yeah, you don't want that to happen. So this is why you want to be a bit more safe and go a little bit further out from the structure. Anyways, so then the last set of commands is obviously where you want it to be. So the reason it's not 4 commands, I actually don't know, you're gonna have to ask the game for that. You only need 1 more command, so I wanna paste that over here, so I'm gonna write -1, 4, 25 into this, which would be -1, 4 and 25. So now I've got 3 commands. I've got the 2 commands that copy and the last command that pastes. And this should copy and paste the building. Ah, that came a little closer than I wanted, but Yeah, there you go. As you can see, it brought it right here where I wanted it. Like I said, rotating is a bit more complicated, so it's gonna leave that for now. And so it's gonna most likely come up like this when you copy and paste, so you're gonna have to imagine it pasting like that. So you wanna take it out a bit further maybe, which isn't what I did. So I'm gonna take it to 0421. So uh, 0, 4 and 21, and it should have moved a bit more back, as you can see. And this probably got pasted because of that. But yeah, that's basically the slash clone command, and there you go. I don't know why this is getting cloned in, but yeah, it should be fine. Oh wait, I just realized that the reason this is getting cloned in is because I used 8, as you can see in the top left. I used minus 11, 8, 28. If you don't want the block you're standing on to get cloned on, make sure you take it a lower. So instead of 8, it should have been 7. And I'm pretty sure it shouldn't get cloned in anymore. Oh, it still did, so 6. Holy crap. Yeah, if you don't want it to thingy, if a block that's too high shouldn't be cloning in, then you just wanna be thingying, lowering it down. See, this time it never got cloned, because I lowered it down to the point where it doesn't pop up, as you can see. So what I did was, instead of, at first, I was copying this block and everything below it all the way to here, but I don't want that, so I lowered it down to here, then I lowered it down to here again, which is y6. Wait, yeah, I lowered it down to here, so y6, which is in line with this. I normally should have probably taken it up to like here, and then instead of 10, do like 5 or 6, just to make sure that that block doesn't get copied and this stuff does. But yeah, that's the slash clone command done. Very basic. There is a very useful way to use this command, which I'll use in the future in the more intermediate ones, where you can, yeah, just use it a lot easier. And like I said, some people might want to use this command. I'm going to give you the basics for the future when I do get into how to make this a bit better or use this in a better way. But there is definitely an easier way to copy and paste in this game, and a much better way. And that's through a block called the structure block, which is what I'm going to get. Now, if you want to get the structure block, you go in chat, you type in slash give at p and then structure and then underscore block. This will give you a weird looking block that looks like this. And as you can see, there's already lines all around this place. That is the area that's going to get copied. So using this block, you just put this down and it shows everything that's going to get copied in. It's a very basic block, and yeah, I'm going to actually move this a bit closer. So as you can see, the building I've made has been taken in. So now if you're wondering how you actually use this block, obviously click on it, L2 for PS4s, I don't know why it's for other controllers. And you can take a look if you move it. So as you can see on the left side, it's color coded, X is red, Z is blue, Y is green. So obviously, so if you wanna move it up, you can move it to 10 or 20. You can really go really far, but the max is 64 for everything, so you can't go higher than 64. But if you really do need to go higher than 64, then you can use the slash clone command, but I don't think so. There's a lot of buildings that you're going to be making and copying that need more than 60 floor blocks in every single direction to be pasted. Alright, so that's the size. The offset is what's making it go down one. If you don't want offset, then you just obviously take it off to 0 and it'll be straight ground level. But if you do want offset, then obviously you can go on -1 or even -5 and it'll copy literally everything in the area. And then yeah, but the Y, you can always keep messing around with your numbers until you actually get what you want. So see, I got too high that time, and that's too low, so now I should probably do 8, and there you go, perfect. Alright, and there is a little weird way. So firstly, you have to save it, as you can see. So you wanna call it something. I'm just gonna call this Bob. Don't ask why. So my structure Bob, as you can see, it says in the top left, and make sure you press the save button. It says structure saved, but personally I like pressing it like 7 times, just to make sure. You can get rid of that, but it's very useful, so I like to keep it. And that saves the block. And so yeah, and now if you want to paste this block, you don't need to mine this one, you can keep it. And if you want to paste it, which I'm just going to show it so that it shows the offset I added, but you don't have to build it high or anywhere. And let me go a bit out, and now let me paste this. So if you want to load it up, you go on load, so mode, load, and then you type in your structure. Make sure you don't add any extra spaces, and if you added a capital, you're going to have to include that capital letter you put in. And then you press in load, and there it is, the whole area copied and pasted. So another issue is, for rotating, it's a lot easier in this. So as you can see over here, I copied it identically. But if you do want to rotate your building, then it's simple. It's real simple. You go on this again, you go on load, and then your structure name. Mine's Bob, obviously. And so if you go down, you can see rotation here. You can obviously, there's no point doing 360, so you can goes up to 270. And here it is. So you can just go 90, but I'm gonna go 180, and oh, I'm inside it. And as you can see, it's the same thing because I just realized this building is made like that. Okay, let me just try that again. Let me just do 90 degrees. Doing 180 was just stupid. Why don't I think about how I built this? It's fine if I just load this. Bob. And 90 degrees. Boom. There, as you can finally see, it's not in the same direction. This has changed from this one being pointing in this direction to pointing in that direction. This took way too many attempts. It shouldn't have. But yeah, if you wanna copying blocks and stuff, you wanna use this structure block. It's easier, more simple, and just overall better. But that doesn't mean that cloning is bad. It still is useful, and I just realized this never did anything because this still exists. But yeah, it's still useful. There's a lot of ways, like for example in a bed wars map. Yes, this can be useful in bedrock maps. Bedrock, bed wars, or egg wars, whatever you want to name it. And yeah, that is going to be one of the more advanced, or putting together the commands that we learned. I'm going to be making that in the future. Anyways, so yeah, it's useful for certain commands. One of the more advanced ones. Cloning is amazing and a lot better than structure blocks, because structure blocks can only copy and paste buildings, and it can copy and paste chests and what's inside it. But the one problem about structure blocks is, let me show you right here. So if you didn't know, if you do load up a structure and you want it to be linked to a redstone circuit, so let me quickly get some redstone right here. So if you want it to be linked, it'll copy and paste it, but the problem is, firstly, as you can see here, the structure block itself can get moved. So then you can't keep using the redstone signal to do something, or make it do something. Now I'm actually gonna save Bob differently. I'm gonna take off the offset. So let's put 0 offset and save it. And then load it. So now there's no offset, so it's not going to move anymore, right? That just makes sense. It's not going to get launched 5,000 blocks into the sky. But no. And yeah, so redstone should work like this. It only makes sense. But it really doesn't, because as you can see, when you connect a redstone signal to it, it just doesn't work. And yeah, it's annoying. It definitely is very annoying. I might as well as, yeah, sure, offset -1 might work now because it won't go one into the ground or whatever, but redstone signals do not work with structure blocks. It does, but then after once, it won't work again. Why is it going down? But basically what I'm trying to say is, it won't load up again. As you can see, it's just gonna stop. I've used it once when it was up here, when the structure block was here, and now it's not working again. You're gonna have to manually break the block, place it down, load up the structure, and there's no way of automating this process. So yeah, it's just gonna, you just have to deal with that. And that's why clone blocks are actually better, in a way. Anyways, that's basically it on cloning and how to use cloning. And yeah, that's all.